Toronto FC took few missteps in its spectacular 2017 campaign, setting a number of records on the way to an MLS Cup championship. Follow-up has been a 180 toward the bottom of Major League Soccer's Eastern Conference, but perhaps a glistening reminder of all of that earlier success might help turn this campaign around. Earlier this week, ahead of Saturday's game in Columbus, the Reds received their championship rings, diamond-filled, gigantic affairs on top of white and yellow gold. "It's heavy," joked Sebastian Giovinco after training on Thursday. The star striker indicated that the heft would not prevent him from sporting it often. According to the Canadian press, each ring has 170 diamonds, and the players also received a picture of the MLS Cup trophy and an expensive bottle of champagne. The rings commemorate the team's record total number of points and the 3 trophies hoisted. That group only dropped 5 league matches, while this one has already lost 7 times, including an aggravating 1-0 home loss against Dallas last weekend. Not surprisingly, Giovinco didn't seem as pleased to be discussing what has gone wrong as he did talking about his new ring. "I'm not happy because the result is not what everybody expected. I think everybody is a little bit frustrated," Giovinco said, calling it a tough season so far. "Everybody make fault this year, so we have to try to cancel what we do at the beginning and try to look forward." The amusing thing there was Giovinco's statement could be taken 2 ways. The entire season has begun in rough fashion, but much of the trouble stems from performing so poorly at the start, but first 15 or so minutes, of each specific game, something the club is aiming to improve on moving forward. Head coach Greg Vanney believes the group is close, and goalkeeper Alex Bono echoed those thoughts. "We're trying to turn some things that we see as misfortune into some fortune," Vanney said. "These are little competitive things, winning duels, things like that where you can gain an edge in a game. We've got to accept that mentality, that we've got to grind out some things." Having said that, "We played pretty nice soccer last week and created some chances. It's about execution." Vanney said he had little doubt that the team would be flying in 4 or 5 weeks, and Bono agreed with his coach. "It's getting to a point in the season where the summer grind is about to start," Bono said. "I believe last year we hit a stretch where we were just on fire, and I don't see why we can't replicate that," both men said. Training on Wednesday was intense. Thursday was spent more on tactical work, and if the team can channel that in Columbus, a good result will follow. "There is a ton of opportunity for us and a ton of room for us to still climb up that table," Bono said. "By no means is this season anywhere close to over, or dead, or anything like that." A night to remember. Bono got called up to the American national team and started in goal in a 3-0 demolition of Bolivia on Monday, and came back thrilled with the experience. "Real barn burner, wasn't it?" Bono joked of a game which featured an extremely young American side against a still overmatched group from Bolivia. "You know, it's his first cap. I'd rather have it be like that than go up against Brazil right before they go to the World Cup or something. Not a lot of action is not a bad thing for your first taste of action." Bono admitted he was a little shaken by the moment early on, especially after searching out and finding his parents and brother in the stands during the pre-game. "The Bono family brought the dog on the trip too. When I was hearing the anthem, it was just kind of the moment I've always waited for. It really was a dream come true for me," he said. The American program is currently in a state of flux, having failed to qualify for the World Cup, but Bono believes he made a good impression and is hopeful he will be a part of future plans. "The feedback has always been good from that staff. I believe that they like me as a player and as a person," he said. "They've told me there could be a future with me with the national team. Obviously that depends on what happens." Free kicks. Giovinco selected technically and physically strong France as his World Cup pick, while Bono went with Brazil, believing the return of Neymar and the team's run-and-gun style will be tough for opponents to overcome. Giovinco smiled when asked about being able to soon play on a fresh patch of grass. This scribe worked closely with Massaro during some of TFC's dark days and not as frequently in the more recent brighter moments, and Mike made my job easier. Fanny lauded Massaro for his temperament and for his handling some of the big personalities on the team. Mike just in every situation brought a calm approach, solution-oriented, work with everybody. Fanny said, "I think that was big. I know our players appreciated it at Wolstadsen.